Here you are. This'll keep the cold out. It's very cold out, I can tell you. It's murder. That's right. You eat that. You'll need it. You can feel it in here. Still, the room keeps warm. Better than the basement, anyway. I don't know how they live down there. It's asking for trouble. Go on. Eat it up. I've never seen who it is. Who is it? Who lives down there? I'll have to ask. I mean, you might as well know, Bert. But whoever it is, it can't be too cozy. I wouldn't like to live in that basement. Did you ever see the walls? They were running. Those walls would have finished you off. I don't know who lives down there now. Whoever it is, they're taking a big chance. Maybe they're foreigners. If they ever ask you, Bert, I'm quite happy where I am. We're quiet. We're all right. You're happy up here. It's not far up either when you come in from outside. And we're not bothered. And nobody bothers us. I don't know why you have to go out. Couldn't you run it down tomorrow? I could put in the fire later. You could sit by the fire. That's what you like, Bert, of an evening. It'll be dark in a minute as well. Soon. It gets dark now. You've been out today? It's got ice on the roads. Oh, I know you can drive. I'm not saying you can't drive. I mentioned to Mr. Kidd this morning that you'd be doing a run today. I told him that you hadn't been too grand, but I said still. He's a marvelous driver. But it's cold. I'll have you some nice cocoa on when you come back. It's quiet. coming on for dark. No one about. Wait a minute. I wonder who that is. No. I thought I saw someone. Nope. This is a good room. You got a chance in a place like this.
I knocked.
I heard you.
Eh?
We heard you.
Hello, Mr. Hunt. How are you? All right? I've been looking at the pipes. I just popped in, like to see how things were going. Well, it's cozy in here. You going out today, Mr. Hunt? I went out. I came straight in again. Only to the corner, of course. So I thought to myself, I'd better have a look at those pipes. In the circumstances. I only went to the corner for some necessary items. It's likely to snow. Very likely, in my opinion.
Well, it's a shame you have to go out in this weather. Don't you have a help?
Eh?
I thought you had a woman to help.
I don't have any woman.
I thought you had one when we first came.
No women here.
Maybe I was thinking of somewhere else.
Plenty of women around the corner, of course. Oh, yes. Not here, though. Hey, have I seen that before?
What?
That.
It's just an old rocking chair.
Was it here when you came?
No, I brought it myself.
I could swear blind. I've seen that before.
Perhaps you have.
Eh?
I say perhaps you have.
Yes, perhaps I have. You're going out there, Mr. Hunt? I was just looking at your van. She's a very nice little van. I notice you keep her wrapped up for the cold. I was hearing you go off, when was it? Yeah, the other morning, yes. Very smooth. I can tell a good gear change.
I thought your bedroom was at the back, Mr. Kidd.
My bedroom?
Wasn't it at the back? Not that I ever knew.
I wasn't in my bedroom. This was my bedroom.
This? When?
When I lived here.
Well, I must say, Mr. Kidd, this is a very nice room. It's a very comfortable room.
Best room in the house.
It must get a bit damp downstairs.
Not as bad as upstairs.
What about downstairs?
Eh?
What about downstairs?
What about it?
Must get a bit damp.
A bit. Not as bad as upstairs, though.
Why is that?
The rain comes in.
Anyone live up there?
There was. Not now. I used to keep a tack of everything in this house. I had a lot to keep my eye on then. I was able for it, though. That was before my sister died. I lost track a bit after she died. It was a good house then. She was a capable woman. Fine size of woman, too. I think she took after my mum. Yes, I think she took after my old mum, if I recollect. I think my mum was a Jewess. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that she was a Jewess. She never had many babies.
What about your sister then, Mr. Kidd?
What about her?
Did she have any babies?
Yes, I think she had a resemblance to my old mum. Taller, of course.
When did she die then, your sister?
She used to keep things in very good trim. And I used to give her a helping hand. She was very grateful. Right until her last. She always used to tell me how grateful she was for all the little things I used to do for her. Then she copped it. I was her senior. Yes, I was her senior. She had a lovely boudoir. A beautiful boudoir.
You full at the moment, Mr. Kidd?
Packed out.
All sorts, I suppose.
Oh, yes.
Where is your bedroom now, then, Mr. Kidd?
Me? I can take my pick. You going out soon, then, Mr. Hudd? Be careful how you go. Those roads will be no joke. Still, you know how to manipulate your van, don't you? Where are you going? Far? Be long?
He won't be long.
Oh, no, of course not. Shouldn't take him long.
No.
Well, I'll pop off. Have a good run, Mr. Hudd. Mind how you go. It'll be dark soon, too. Well, not for a good while yet. Arrivederci.
Believe he had a sister ever.
Oh, so sorry. We didn't mean to be standing here like. Didn't mean to give you a fright. We've just come up the stairs.
That's all right.
This is Mr. Sands. I'm Mrs. Sands.
How do you do?
All right.
We were just going up the stairs. You can't see a thing in this place. Can you, Toddy?
Not a thing.
What were you looking for?
The man who runs the house.
The landlord. We're trying to get hold of the landlord.
What's his name, Toddy?
His name's Mr. Kidd.
Kidd. What's that the name, Toddy?
Kid. No, that's not it.
Mr. Kidd. That's his name.
Then he's not the bloke we're looking for.
Well, you must be looking for someone else.
I suppose we must be.
You look cold.
It's murder out. Have you been out?
No.
We've not long come in.
Well, come inside if you like and have a warm. Sit down here. You can get a good warm. Come over by the fire, Mr. Sands.
No, it's all right. I'll just stretch my legs.
Why? You haven't been sitting down.
What about it?
Well, why don't you sit down?
Why should I?
You must be cold.
I'm not.
You must be. Bring over a chair and sit down.
I'm all right standing up.
You don't look one thing or the other standing up.
I'm quite all right, Clarissa.
Clarissa, what a pretty name.
Yes, it is nice, isn't it? My father and mother gave it to me. You know, this is a room you can sit down and feel cozy in.
It's a fair size, all right.
Why don't you sit down, Mrs.
Hud. No, thanks.
What'd you say?
When?
What'd you say the name was?
Hud.
That's it. So you're the wife of the bloke you mentioned then?
No, she isn't. That was Mr. Kidd.
Was it? I thought it was Hud.
No, it was Kidd. Wasn't it, Mrs. Hud?
That's right, the landlord.
No, not the landlord. The other man.
Well, that's his name. He's the landlord.
Who?
Mr. Kidd.
Is he?
Maybe there are two landlords.
That'll be the day.
What did you say?
I said that'll be the day. But he does live here, doesn't he?
What's it like out?
It's very dark out.
No darker than in.
He's right there.
Darker in than out, for my money.
There's not much light in this place, is there, Mrs. Hudd? Do you know this is the first bit of light we've seen since we came in?
The first crack.
Now I come to think of it, I saw a star.
You saw what?
Well, I think I did.
You think you saw what?
A star
Where?
in the sky
When?
as we were coming along.
Go on.
What do you mean?
You didn't see a star.
Why not?
Because I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you didn't see a star.
I hope it's not too dark out. I hope it's not too icy. My husband's in his van. He doesn't drive slow either. He never drives slow.
Well, he's taking a big chance tonight then.
What?
Well, I mean, it would be a bit dodgy driving tonight.
He's a very good driver. How long have you been here?
I don't know. How long have we been here, Toddy?
About half an hour.
Longer than that. Much longer.
About 35 minutes.
Well, I think you'll find Mr. Kidd about somewhere.
He lives here, does he?
Of course he lives here.
And you say he's the landlord, is he?
Of course he is.
Then say I wanted to get hold of him. Where do I find him?
Well, I'm not sure, but I don't know.
You don't know exactly where he hangs out.
No, not exactly.
This is a very big house, Toddy.
Yes, I know it is. But Mrs. Hudd seems to know Mr. Kidd very well.
No, I wouldn't say that. As a matter of fact, I don't know him at all. We're very quiet. We keep ourselves to ourselves. I never interfere. I mean, why should I? We've got our room. We don't bother anyone else. That's the way it should be.
It's a nice house, isn't it? Roomy.
I don't know about the house. We're all right, but I wouldn't mind betting there's lots wrong with this house. I think there's a lot of damp.
Yes, I felt a bit of damp when we were in the basement just now.
You were in the basement?
Yes, we went down there when we came in.
Why?
We were looking for the landlord.
What's it like down there?
Can't see a thing.
Why not?
There isn't any light.
You said it was damp.
I felt a bit, didn't you, Todd?
Why? Haven't you been down there, Mrs. Hudd?
Oh, yes. Once, a long time ago.
Well then, you know what it's like then, don't you?
It was a long time ago.
You haven't been here all that long, have you?
I was just wondering whether anyone lives down there now.
A man.
A man.
There was a bloke down there, all right.
You're sitting down.
Who is?
You were.
Don't be silly, I perched.
I saw you sitting down.
You didn't see me sit down because I didn't bloody well sit down, I perched.
Do you think I can't perceive when someone's sitting down?
Perceive? It's all you do, perceive.
You could do with a bit more of that instead of all that tripe you get up to.
You don't mind some of that tripe.
You take after your uncle. That's who you take after.
And who'd you take after?
I didn't bring you into the world.
You didn't what?
I said I didn't bring you into the world.
Then that's what I want to know who did. Bloody well did bring me into this world.
You say you saw a man downstairs in the basement?
Yes, Mrs. Hudd. You see, the thing is, Mrs. Hudd, we'd heard they got a room to let here. So we thought we'd come along and have a look. Because we're looking for a place, you see. Somewhere quiet. And we knew this district was quiet. And we passed the house a few months ago and we thought it looked very nice. But we thought we'd call of an evening to catch the landlord. So we came along this evening. Anyway, when we got here, we walked in the front door and it was very dark in the hall. There wasn't anyone about. So we went down to the basement. Well, we got down there only due to Toddy having such good eyesight, really. Between you and me, I didn't like the look of it much. I mean, the feel. We couldn't make much out. So I stopped. And Toddy stopped. And then this voice came. It said, well, it gave me a bit of a fright. But someone asked if he could do anything for us. So Todd said we were looking for the landlord. And this man said the landlord would be upstairs. Then Todd asked if there was a room vacant. And this man, this voice really, said yes, there was a room vacant. He was very polite, I thought. But we never saw him. Anyway, we got out then, and we came up, and we went to the top of the house. I don't know whether it was the top. There was a door locked on the stairs, so there might have been another floor. But we didn't see anyone, and it was dark. And we were just coming down again when you opened your door.
You said you were going up.
What?
You said you were going up before.
No, we were coming down.
You didn't say that.
We'd been up.
We'd been up and we were coming down.
This man. What was he like? Was he old?
We didn't see him.
Let's try and find this landlord if he's about.
You won't find any rooms vacant in this house.
Why not?
Mr. Kidd told me. He told me.
Mr. Kidd?
He said he was full up.
The man in the basement said there was one. One room. Number 74, he said.
That's this room.
Let's find the landlord.
Well, thank you for the warm-up, Mrs. Hudd. I feel much better now.
This room is occupied.
Come on.
Goodbye, Mrs. Hudd. I hope your husband won't be too long. Must be lonely for you, being all alone here.
Come on.
Mr. Kidd, I was just going to find you. I've got to speak to you.
With you. I came up
There were
specially.
two people
As
here
soon as
just
I
now.
heard the
They said
band
this
go, I
room
got
was
ready
going
to come and
vacant.
see you.
What were they
I am
talking about?
Knocked out.
What was it all about? Did you see those people? How can this room be going? It's occupied. Did they get hold of you, Mr. Kidd?
Get hold of me. Who?
I told you, two people. They were
I
looking
didn't
for
tell
the
you. I was
landlord.
getting ready to come and see you as soon as I heard the van
then
go. That's why I come
who
up
were
before,
they?
but he hadn't gone yet. I've been waiting for him to go the whole
Mr.
weekend.
Kidd, what did they mean about this room?
Room?
room vacant?
Vacant?
They were looking for the landlord.
Who?
Listen, Mr. Kidd, you are the landlord, aren't you? There isn't any other landlord.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I've got to tell you. That's all I've got to tell you. I've had a terrible weekend. You've got to see him. I can't take it anymore. You have to see him.
Who?
The man. He wants to see you. He's been waiting to see you. I can't get rid of him. He's down there now. He's been there the whole weekend. He told me to tell him when Mr. Hudd went out. That's why I came up before, but he hadn't gone yet. So I said to him, I said he hasn't gone yet. Well, I said, all right, when he goes, you can go up. Well, no, he said, no. You must ask her if she'll see me.
Who is he?
How do I know who he is? Just lies there, that's all.
He lies there in the basement?
Can I tell him it's all right, Mrs. Hudd?
But it's damp down there.
Can I tell him that it's all right?
That what's all right?
That you'll see him.
See him? I beg your pardon, Mr. Kidd. I don't know him. Why would I see him?
You won't see him.
Do you expect me to see someone I don't know, with my husband not here too?
But he knows you. Mrs. Hudd, he knows you.
How could he, Mr. Kidd, when I don't know him?
You must know him.
But I don't know anybody. We're quiet here. We just moved into this district.
But he doesn't live in this district. Perhaps you knew him in another district.
Mr. Kidd, do you think that I go around meeting men from one district after another? What do you think I am?
I don't know what I think. I think I'm going off my squiff. I don't know what will happen if you don't see him.
I don't know him.
I know what he'll do if you don't see him now. There'll be nothing else for it. He'll come up on his own bat. That's what he'll do, come up when your husband's here.
He'd never do that.
Oh, yes, he will. That's exactly what he would do. You don't think he's going to go away now, do you? Without seeing you, when he's come all this way, you don't think he's going to do that, do you?
All this way? You would do that. Fetch him! Quick, quick!
Mrs. Hunt.
You just touched a chair. Why don't you sit in it?
Thank you.
Don't thank me for anything. I don't want you up here. I don't know who you are. And the sooner you get out, the better. Well, come on. Enough's enough. You can take a liberty too far, you know. What do you want? You force your way up here. You disturb my evening. You come in and sit down here. What do you want? What are you looking at? You're blind, aren't you? So what are you looking at? What do you think you got in here? A little girl? I can keep up with you. I'm one step ahead of people like you. Tell me what you want and get out.
My name is Riley.
I don't care if it's... What? That's not your name. That's not your name. You've got a grown-up woman in here, do you hear? Or are you deaf, too? You're not deaf, too, are you? You're all deaf and dumb and blind, the lot of you. A bunch of cripples. My luck! I get these creeps coming in here smelling up my room. What do you want?
I want to see you.
Well, you can't see me, can you? You're a blind man, aren't you? Can't see a dicky bird. They say I know you. That's an insult for a start, because I can tell you I wouldn't know you to spit on, not for a mile off. These customers. They come in here and stink the place out after a handout. I know all about it. And as for your saying, you know me. What liberty is that? Telling my landlord, too. Upsetting my landlord. What do you think you're up to? We're settled down here, cozy, quiet, and our landlord thinks the world of us. We're his favorite tenants, and you come along and drive him up the wall and drag my name into it. What did you mean, dragging my name into it, and my husband's name? How did you know what our name was? You've led him a dance, have you, this weekend? You've got him going, have you? You push your way in and shove him about and drag my name into it? Come on, then. You say you wanted to see me. Well, I'm here. Spit it out, or out you go. What do you want?
I have a message for you.
You have a what? How could you have a message for me, Mr. Riley, when I don't know you, and nobody knows I'm here, and I don't know anybody anyway? You're not only a nut, you're a blind nut. You get out the way you came. What message? Who do you have a message from? Who?
Your father wants you to come home.
Home.
Yes.
Home. Go now. Come on. It's late.
Come home, Sal.
What did you call me?
Come home, Sal.
Don't call me that! Don't call me that! Not Sal. Don't touch me. I can't. No, I can't. The day is a hump. I never go out. I've been here.
I got back all right.
Yes.
I got back all right.
Is it late?
I had a good bowl down there. I drove her down hard. They got it dark out.
Yes.
They got it very icy out. But I drove her. I sped her.
Yes.
I caned her along. She was good. Then I got back. I could see the road all right. There was no cars. One there was. He wouldn't move. I bumped him. I got my road. I had all my way. There again and back. They shoved out of it. I kept on the straight. There was no mixing it. Not with her. She was good. She went with me. She don't mix it with me. I use my hand. Like that. I'll get hold of her. I'll go where I go. She took me there. She brought me back. I got back all right.
Mr. Hood, your wife...
Lice.